Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I'm Jacqueline London.
I'm Tracy Davidson. A state of emergency has been issued for New Jersey as coastal communities brace for flooding and potentially damaging winds. That's along with the rough surf and the dangerous rip currents that the region has been dealing with for the past several days now. Here's a live look from our cameras in Atlantic City and Cape May, and you can see the waves are rough as the wind kicks up this afternoon. NBC 10's Fred Shropshire is getting a first-hand look at the impact. He is anchoring our live coverage this evening from Atlantic City.
Good evening, Tracy. Yeah, let's just get right to it. Things have escalated quickly here. I want to show you right here. This is Steel Pier, and you can see those waves crashing into the pillars holding up that pier. We're told that's about 28 feet off of sea level, and even in the time that we've been standing here for the past hour, we've watched those waves run up on this beach here, and you can see if you look just down here at my feet, look, the sand here is moist. That's because this surf has already rushed this area. This is what it's going to look like. We are several hours away from high tide, but the big concern as we move through the evening is what the flooding would possibly look like. I want to show you what we've been seeing across our area today. The big concern, flooding communities on Long Beach Island saw some minor flooding from this morning's high tide with several streets filling with water. We have a team of reporters monitoring the changing conditions along the coast here at the Jersey Shore and at the Delaware beaches. I want to begin, though, back in the First Alert Weather Center with meteorologist Robert Johnson, who is standing by now tracking the impacts that we expect to see this evening. Robert.
And Fred, unfortunately, the worst is yet to come, and that's why the team issued a first alert for this system as we track the threat of coastal flooding and strong winds. Those are the biggest concerns. Our first alert remains in effect until midnight tonight for coastal New Jersey into Delaware. The biggest threats, moderate to major flooding along the coast, winds that will gust anywhere from 40 to 50 miles per hour, and we've already seen some strong wind gusts today. Large breaking waves anywhere from 7 to 12 feet high, and life-threatening, dangerous rip currents for days on end. Here's the latest on Erin as of 2 p.m. from the National Hurricane Center. We'll get another update at the top of the 5 o'clock hour, but here's the latest information we have right now. It's still a Category 2 hurricane with maximum sustained winds of 100 miles per hour. The good news is that it is quickly moving away from us, sliding to the northeast at 18 miles per hour, but still it has been and will continue to make its presence known. Later on tonight, by 8 o'clock, it's a Category 1 hurricane as the winds drop down and it continues to move over cooler ocean waters. Still a Category 1 hurricane as it pulls away by Friday morning and then weakens into a broad area of low pressure into the weekend as it moves into the northern Atlantic. But the winds have been ferocious today. Dewey Beach, top wind gust 46 miles per hour. Atlantic City, 45 mile per hour wind gust. Cape May, 44. Rehoboth Beach, 42. And in Ocean City, the highest wind gust so far today at 41 miles per hour. Here are the coastal concerns for the Jersey Shore and the Delaware beaches. A wind advisory remains in place until midnight as gusts continue up to 50 miles per hour. Moderate to major coastal flooding is possible, the worst of it being later on tonight during high tide from 7 p.m. until 9 p.m. Rough surf and beach erosion exists into tomorrow, and this is brand new information as of 4 o'clock. The rip current risk will remain high, not just for tonight and for Friday, but also now bleeding into Saturday. We'll talk more about these coastal concerns and talk about the brighter conditions on the way in the complete 10-day forecast. However, we do want to check in with Brian Sheehan. He is live in Sea Isle City, and him and his photographer have been there throughout the day checking out the scene. Brian, what do you know?
Well, Robert, this is what is left of the beach. Here are the dunes. Here is the water. About 6 feet separate the two, and we are still several hours away from high tide. You are still allowed on the beach this afternoon. You can walk on the sand, but you have to stay out of the water, and for good reason. The waves, as you see, are powerful, and the current is extremely dangerous. Everyone's phones actually started going off with the emergency alert about a half hour ago. It was from Cape May County OEM warning people about the dangerous surf and coastal flooding. Earlier today, we rode along with Chief Rennie Steele of the Sea Isle City Beach Patrol. He's been here since 1968. He's been the chief for 40 years, so he has seen his fair share of storms over the decades. The waves have already caused some beach erosion, he was telling me, as is evident in the shot you just saw there. Even though the guards are not keeping an eye on swimmers in the water today, they are making sure everyone stays out of it. They have 17 stands set up at the beach entrances where guards are explaining to people why why they cannot go into the water. We saw quite a number of them coming down to the sand and getting a look at the fury Hurricane Erin is causing here. What's your main message to people that want to come down, they want to see the ocean, Mother Nature roaring?
Take a look, stay out of the water. Just stay out of the water. It doesn't take much to take you out in a rip current. You can be waist deep and get sucked out.
Even the most experienced swimmers, right?
Yeah. Our guards aren't going out unless they have to.
The waves could get as high as 7 to 12 feet, and they are roaring here this afternoon. Sea Isle OEM actually put out a warning for residents and visitors to expect flooding here in town, especially on the roads near the ocean and, of course, the back bays. We are monitoring the conditions here in Sea Isle, and I'll see you again in about an hour. But for now, live on the beach here in Sea Isle, I'm Brian Sheehan, NBC 10 News.
All right, Brian, thank you for that. You know, we're seeing the same thing here in Atlantic City. You see this bar right here. This bar was just reopened 3 weeks ago from damage happening from a similar storm surge 2 years ago. So they were expecting to have more business here. So it is a pretty bad situation here in New Jersey right now along the shore. I want to show you now what we've been looking at along Delaware beaches now, and beach accesses there have been closed down as well. This is video from Bethany Beach where Hurricane Erin is creating dangerous surf and strong winds. Officials recommending everyone to stay off the beaches because of the extreme and potentially deadly conditions they're expecting. And coastal towns in Delaware are already dealing with the impacts of flooding, and the worst is yet to come. We're expecting the biggest flooding threat to reach the Delaware coast later this evening. NBC 10's Tim Furlong joining us now live at Dewey Beach with more.
Hey, Fred, I did the math. You're about 58 miles south here of where you are in Atlantic City down the coast. And you can see we're on the beach in Dewey, where yesterday we were live here at this time. And it was a hot day. The waves were big, but it wasn't too bad. Today, it's a different story. It's dangerous. The water is coming up a lot higher than it was yesterday. The ocean is closed off. And as high as the water's coming, which this is like the wet sand line right here, you might see some of these big waves right here. They might be coming up about this high. We still have 2 hours until the high tide. But here's the crazy thing. As bad as it is in Dewey Beach, you can still see there's a lot of beach here. As you go down the coast, it's a different story. In Dewey Beach, businesses are open, but the ocean is not. The wind too strong for this dude, and it bullied my typically tough little drone around pretty good too. Over on the bay side and a few blocks east on the ocean, folks are coming out just to see the spectacle.
Yeah, we just wanted to check it out.
In Bethany, town workers literally closing off the access points to the beach, beaches that really aren't even there anymore. The dune is holding, the sand has not. Has it not been a great beach?
It's been great. We've been with family, so even though there's been bad weather, we've had a great time.
This guy in his hot off the press Hurricane Erin t-shirt walks the Bethany boards almost every day and is concerned about all the damage. Businesses here are busy, but the actual beach is what this town relies on. And state environmental folks tell me Bethany generally takes some of the worst weather beatings. Their folks are monitoring all of the state's trouble spots. This storm has already been pretty rough.
So this is a heavy, it's a severe coastal erosion event right now. It is the beginning of our storm season.
State environmental folks also concerned about Delaware Route 1 on the north side of the Indian River Inlet. Millions of state and federal dollars have been spent over the last year trying to keep the highway from going underwater during storms. This is a very key evacuation route, let alone just, the most convenient way to get north and south at the beaches.
There's always a question, but we are fairly positive that it will hold through this storm. It is seeing heavy erosion. Moving forward, we are going to be triaging our beaches and doing some repairs where it's most needed to make sure that we're shoring it up for floodplain management.
Yeah, and back live in Dewey, you see just how big these waves are. They're slamming on the shore. The ocean is closed in Dewey and all the other beaches. The beach itself, as I mentioned, is closed altogether in Bethany. Now, Wayne and I, my photographer, we have a sort of an ambitious plan for the rest of the afternoon, or stupid. See how it goes, see how traffic goes. We're going to leave here in Dewey. We're going to head up. So at 5 o'clock, we're going to join you live from Rehoboth. And then hopefully at 6 o'clock, we're going to go around Cape Henlopen and to downtown Lewis to the beach in Savannah Beach there. We're going to try to be live from there at 6. depending on traffic and weather conditions, we want to try to give you a look at as many Delaware beaches as possible. So that's my plan, at least. We're going to do our best for you, so make sure you stick with us. Live in Dewey Beach, I'm Tim Furlong, NBC 10 News.
All right, sounds like a plan. At least be safe out there, Tim. Thank you for that reporting. And really quickly, before we go, I want to show you what this looks like. This is an empty beach, but you can see people here have been limited to just standing here on the boardwalk as far as they can come. We're allowed access because we're the news organization telling you the story here, but people have been restricted in the areas they can go in. So right now, the big concern, just how much impact this surge will have. We haven't yet even reached high tide. We'll send it back to you, Tracy, in the studio, but we're going to be back here several more times throughout the next few hours.